what do we need for this, Brian? We need a knife. And indeed we do. Just in case. There's my knife. Okay, 10 interesting facts around the vehicle. Now, in case the lions do something interesting, I'm just going to let Brian know if I must link. So, Brian, if Lou tells me, I will send you back across to the cubs. Aha! Number 1. We'll leave that there for now. Let's see what else we can find. Now, see, we can't do that because we did that yesterday. Oh, this is going to get tricky after a while. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's have a look. Number 2. Aha, and I'm not going to let you see what's inside. What else can we find? Aha, that's why I needed the knife. Number 3. Oh dear. Number 4. And 5, actually. Oh, there's no bones around here. Okay. Well, let's do the first 5. And 6. Oh dear, did it blow away? Oh dear. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start with the one I'm going to put back first. The termites ate the whole inside. Now I've made a mess in the car. That's okay. You see that there in there, Brian? Right in there. So we've got a pair of, actually not a pair, so it looks like this is a violin spider, a female. And just behind her, can you see a slightly paler looking spider? Now, that looks to be the male, and he's being expired. So it looks like the female has actually eaten him. Now, that is not uncommon in spiders. So after mating, if the male can't sneak away quickly, they often get eaten by the females. So very, very cool. This is the most venomous spider. One of the most venomous spiders, but they're very shy and retiring. They've got very small mouth parts. So you really have to try hard to be bitten. And this is the wonderful thing. Now, that's number 1. Number 2 is, in here as well, you see that little pale thing there? Now, there's another spider. It looks like a type of jumping spider or crab spider that has been caught by the violin spider and eaten. And the most amazing thing, when you start looking a little bit closer, you start seeing other things. So that's 1, 2, now number 3. Now, I didn't see that initially. There's a little stick insect. Very, very cool. So I didn't see that. A little stick insect. And probably trying to avoid being eaten at the moment, so that's why crawling under a log. But normally when they're out mating, they actually do have wings, but we can't really see them in there now. So they are able to fly between different spots. Okay, let's put the spiders and the stick insects back where we found them. Dear, they keep blowing away. It's fine, I'll find some more now. Oh no, there's some there. Now, this is number 4 and number 5. Isn't that an absolutely fantastic color? It almost looks like it's rusted, and that's the colour russet, and it's a russet bush willow. Now, the main thing I want to chat about here is two things. Firstly, why they keep blowing away. They're designed to blow away. That's how the seeds are dispersed. Now let's see if, no, I don't think there's enough wind to catch it. Now you see, basically working like a sail. Oh, the wind's picking up on cue. Let's see if the others are better suited to rolling. That one looks like it's been a bit damaged. Doesn't have the nice wheels yet. So they're actually designed to catch the wind, and on strong windy days they can roll for a couple of 100 meters away from where they have been spawned. Now, the more interesting thing about this, specifically because we're in a drought, and what number are we on? This is 5, eh? And specifically because we're in a drought, is the Herero people, who are indigenous to Botswana and Namibia, and they're great cattlemen. And it's a very dry part of Africa, so drought is not uncommon up there. And these particular seeds are one of the lifesavers to those cattlemen. And they're collected, and even if I look on the ground here, I can see a whole bunch. So the little herd boys are actually sent out to collect, and specifically russet bush willow seeds. They seem to be far more nutritious than the other bush willows, and one of the reasons the Latin name for this tree is Combretum hererensis is because of the Hereros people's use of this as cattle fodder in a time of drought. So they'll collect masses of these seeds to feed cows at a time of drought. Now, I have seen buffalo eat them, and I have seen buffalo eat them this year, which is very unusual. So obviously there's something to that. Number 6 continues on with the exact same seed. Now, here's my knife again. The Hererensis is also, apparently, I've never tasted it myself, but if you open up the seed, I'm not going to taste it now. So, of course, the wings are the dispersal mechanism. The seed is actually on the inside. There we go. Smells quite nice. So there we go. That's the actual seed. Now, apparently, those roasted and ground make very good coffee substitute, and has a similar effect as stimulant as coffee. I'm not sure how effective it is. Brian, do you see what I see? An ant. Oh, can't. Oh, there we go. Well, there's an ant that came outside of the inside of that that seed. So obviously, other little insects can get in, and I think if we look quite carefully on that, it looks like those ants have actually been chewing on the seed. Isn't that amazing? So that actually worked. That worked. What's that number? 7. That was number 7. Sure. And I only came with 5. So that's the amazing thing if you start looking a bit closer. Well, let's let them disperse to the wind. Aha. Number 8. Do you know what that is, Brian?
I do.
What is it?
It's a knob thorn knob.
Exactly. Well done, Brian. So the acacia nigrescens, or the knob thorn, produces, specifically when they're young, these big knobs, and it's actually a modified thorn. So you can actually see the old tip of the hook thorn there. So it's a modified thorn that the tree will produce. Oh, this one always gets globulin. So it's a hormone, a growth hormone that you get in plants, and they will pump it into a thorn to create an armored knob to protect them from different things feeding. So there we go, the knob thorn's knob. And it is just a modified thorn. So it would have started life off as just a tiny little hook thorn, and then the tree would have produced globulin, the hormone, into it, and that would have caused it to become this armored knob. And I love the way, if you look at it carefully, you can see the sort of growth stages in the little layers as they go up. There we go. That was number 8. We got 9, 10, 11, and 12 all in one branch if we wanted them, but I'm not going to spoil you too much. I'm only going to give you 10. So this is often called an apple leaf, but the common name I grew up knowing it as is a rain tree. So particularly in this time of the year, when you don't get as bigger ones here in the Sabi Sands as we used to get in Botswana, there are some in Kruger. Now there's a couple. Okay, quickly across to the lions. I haven't forgotten. It started raining, so we had to skedaddle from Cheetah Plains, but I think it was number 9 and 10 of the stop and look around game. And it is, as I said, this is a rain tree, a Peltiforum. Oh no, sorry, a Phalaenoptera violacea. But the two interesting things about, sorry, this Game Drive channel is making lots of noise. I'll wait for Brian to clean the lens before continuing. There we go. Okay, so we're looking at the rain tree, or an apple leaf. As I said, where I grew up, they were called rain trees as opposed to apple leaves. Now, there's two reasons why they're called the rain tree. One is when the leaves dry out, and especially at this time of the year, the bigger individuals, when the wind blows, it doesn't really work on Little Branch, but it does sound like rain on a roof. But the other reason, the more important reason that they're called rain trees, is that during this time of the year, when it's very dry, they're one of the favored food species for a little bug called a spittlebug. And what a spittlebug will do is it'll attach itself to one of the stems like this, and sometimes en masse, hundreds of thousands of them on a single tree. And what they do is they eat so fast that they excrete a drop of almost pure water every couple of seconds. So if you're sitting under a rain tree in a very dry year and there's not a cloud in the sky and the sun is shining and you start getting rained on, you actually are being urinated on by little bugs called the spittlebugs. And there we go. There's our 10 interesting facts from the stop. We're back on Djuma now, and I'm going to head down towards